Well, good morning. Ira Epstein with your morning flash update. This update is for the morning as we're here now on the 14th of May, Wednesday, 2025, just about 8:13 a.m. Central Time. All right, friends, let's first go to the day's news. The only thing you had coming out today were the MBA mortgage numbers, and the index itself was up 1.1%. The purchase was up, the refi down, but remember, we're at 4.5% on the yields on the 10 years, so as that's climbed up on a weekly basis, this has been a problem for that. Tomorrow's when you get all the information. You're going to get the USPPI, the Empire State Survey, the Philly Fed Manufacturing. Fed Chair Powell's going to speak tomorrow. You've got today 3 Fed speakers. So far, I haven't heard anything that is different on anything. U.S. industrial production and the home builder confidence. And for those of you in the stock market, everybody will look at Walmart earnings. So that'll be coming out. Another event that takes place today, and we should remember, isn't this the day? We're right in that period now where the Ukraine and Russians are to meet, and we will find out if any form of a truce can be reached. Don't know if that's going to be the case or not. If not, all I've read this morning is how the European Union is readying themselves with massive amount of new sanctions, a lot of banking sanctions, a lot on every kind of ship that goes, and talk of a 500% tariff on any country that buys Russian oil. So they would be locked out of, if that goes through, of the United States, possibly Canada, Mexico, very possible. And obviously the European Union, if this all goes through that way. We'll find out. There's always hurdles, but we'll see. But they're getting ready and they want Russia to know what's coming. Not convinced that any headway has been made between Iran and the United States. Iran's negotiator says the United States has to be realistic. No, we don't. I don't understand where these people come from sometimes. No, we don't. It's really simple. You got to give up uranium enrichment to the point minimum of weapons grade. And any weapons grade you have to get rid of. I think that's where you'll end up. I don't think it'll be no uranium enrichment, but the idea of saying you have to be realistic to who? All right, you want a nuclear weapon and your country's known as a terrorist. That's not realistic. And that's the government, not necessarily the people. As we take a look at the rest, bonds and notes are stable. You're dropping down a little bit in the energy. President Trump again talking that he'd like energy prices further down from this. I'm starting to think a top is being made in natural gas. I have a lot of reasons for that. On the grain markets, just back and forth, we're getting ready for another weekend and the weather's absolutely gorgeous. Now in many parts of the Midwest, we're going into the 80s and 90s. This is only mid-May, so you're getting to that point, but we've had enough rain, so, it's sort of like a greenhouse on everything. I do a lot of writing this morning on the volume that's happened. One of the things that you haven't seen, and I have to mention it, I haven't seen, is a break in the S&P of 15 to 20% and a rally back in the S&P that makes it all up and ends up actually higher, all within 30 days. Now, if you think that is normal, it is not normal. You have to go far back to find events that even mirror this, all right? And maybe there's 5 in the history of the stock market data that I heard that you could reach on that. I haven't gone back that many years, but I know it's highly unusual. And this is what engineered events happen. It's one thing when you get pandemics, whole different thing. It's another when you engineer this tariff war, and then you take the tariff war on, put it off, take it on, put it off. And that's what's given the Fed problems. It doesn't know how to react to this, and anything they do would be wrong. I saw William Dudley, the ex-New York Fed president, on this morning, and I think he was 100% right. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't right now. You're better off not. Watch labor. You want to be ahead of the labor part of it because that's the hardest part to turn around, in his opinion. I think he's on the money. You can see metals, though, pretty ugly right now. We'll see if the dollar can crack the 100 level, what is going on. I'll talk a lot about this in my newsletter. I want to remind you what we do have going right now is your Mother's Day sale still going on. It's coming to an end now. So 1/3 off on any of my research packages. All you need to do is go to iraepstein.com research. There'll be an icon at the top up here. If you're on YouTube, you'll see a circle with an eye. Give that a click and away you go. I'm Ira. You have yourself a great day. I will catch up with one and all at the end of the day in our market wrap-ups, and they'll all be out much earlier today than normal as I have an evening event I have to go to. Take care.